Peter, what are we looking at today, mate?
The museum piece. Something which health and safety absolute has panic fits about.
Right.
Right. This, Dave, is what we call a trench rammer.
Trench rammer.
Trench rammer. Now, when your waterboard and your gas board dig a trench to lay a new water pipe or a gas pipe down the road, so they dig the hole, lay the pipe, put the soil back into the trench, and it's the same as you jumping up on the soil to compact it down.
Yeah.
Now then, before there was more traffic and before there was more heavy traffic, you could use a device like this, which is basically a dot of iron on the end of a wooden or a steel pole.
Yeah.
And that was used to ram the soil back down.
Got you.
The trouble with that is it did pack it down heavy enough. So in 1922 or 1920, shall we say, Ben Jonson developed this machine. This is known as the one-man portable power rammer, and basically it does the same as what I've been doing with this hand rammer, but it uses a petrol engine. It's a unique engine, being the fact it's a three-stroke engine.
Three-stroke?
A three-stroke engine. So unlike your BSA motorbikes, where you've got a two-stroke engine, these, and you've got your four-stroke engine, so suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Yep.
These engines are a three-stroke engine.
Wow.
So what you've got is you've got a cylinder with a piston inside it connected to the piston rod,
Yep.
which is connected to the foot down here.
Yep.
When I pump it down, what I'm doing is I'm priming it up.
Yep.
And you're drawing, in this case, fuel from down the bottom here, up through this rod and into the cylinder. Just behind here, there is an open valve. So you're drawing that fuel into the open valve, into the cylinder through the open valve, but when I pull the trigger, it's actually closing this valve. You can just see it start to move. So you've now got a cylinder which is now sealed, full of air and petrol, and a spark plug.
Right.
The electricity is generated behind the back here, which is the magneto.
Yeah.
And if everything's set up right, it will go bang. So let's just prime it up. There we go. Mr. Johnson and Son, he developed the one-man portable trench rammer. Warsops by just after the Second World War, 1940, 1950, something like that, was bought out by Warsop Power Tools. And one of the things that Warsops did, because with going back to the Ben Jonson, you're restricted on the width of the trench.
Yes.
Because of what we call the T-handle.
Yes.
If you're in a wide trench, that's fine, but if you're in a narrow trench,
Yes.
you can't operate it sideways on to be safe. So one of the things that Warsop did, there's the Ben Jonson rammer.
Yeah.
One of the things that they did was put on what we call the loop handle, which is this one.
So you can move around.
That's right, and it also narrows the machine up.
Got you, mate. Yeah.
So through various other models,
Yeah.
eventually they come up with the B series.
Let's go have a look at the Ben Jonson working.
Yep, this is the B series Warsop trench rammer. Trench rammer, ground compactor, call it whatever you like. Same thing again. It was designed to compress the soil back down in the backfill trench. This particular model you could either get in the 9-inch foot or the 7-inch foot. The Ben Jonson is the 7-inch foot.
Got you.
Depending upon the size of the trench. Warsops did try a 10-inch foot. They thought, oh great, bigger foot, we can do more with it. The only thing is, what used to happen is in a wet trench, the clay used to stick to the foot. It wouldn't take off the ground.
Because it was so heavy.
Because it was so heavy, so they reverted back to the 9-inch.
Got you.
9-inch foot. The jump height on these is around about 15, 16 inches, something like that.
You be careful.
7-inch foot, which is a lighter machine, it's about 20. So there we go. When she wants to go. settles down, I'm just having to grind it a couple of times, pour the fuel through. Once it's settled down, it'll then pour its own fuel through, and it should keep running every time I pull the trigger. Trench, you're concentrating this ramming force to about 6 feet below where you're actually ramming.
Yeah.
What was putting these out of, say, favour, first of all, was the utilities companies were starting to use more plastic pipe.
Yeah.
So you're either, with concentrating the forces down the trench, you're either going to crack the pipe you've just put in,
Yeah.
or somebody else's. Which is probably a state why all the roads were in such a state until the 80s. Until the 1980s, there was no actual method statement to how to reinstate a road surface. So there was that, and then the other thing was that health and safety were then worried about the jump height.
Yeah.
Being over 2 inches, what the specification is today.
So what year is this then?
This is around about the 1960s, so again, 60 odd years old. The thing with this machine, it uses a 2-stroke engine with a crankshaft. So this one's running all the time, and it has a centrifugal clutch on it. So the faster the engine revs, so it'll make the thing bounce.